Alright, this one is a weighted nymph I use for pretty much everywhere I go. Hold on, let me grab this hook. I prefer to use smaller hooks on this one. And this is kind of more of a budget nymph that's still pretty quality. Alright, so what you're gonna need, what I use is some flat thread with this like graphic looking stuff, and I fold it over and cut them even. Where's my scissors? Alright, so you end up with something like this. Oh, let me grab this. There we go. With both ends in my hand. So you do that before you start your base, and then once again, going with red velvet. I really like red velvet. It works well for everywhere I've ever fished. Alright, take this, you start a little far forward, make your base, where's Alright, and then you take the thread you just cut, put the tails right together, and then you put the loop on top or on the near side, depending on what your preference is, what's easier for you to tie. And then you tie all the way to the back. And then spread these apart. And then you gotta trim them now because you're about to put another tail in. So I like these about that long. And then this stuff, I don't know what the name is, and it's like way too long. And then just the tips on the very top of the feather. Just a small amount. Probably about 8 to 10 fibers. And then you put them over the top and wrap. Wrap from the middle to the front first, and then from front to back. When you get close to the back, I like to push this down a bit and then hold it all together. And there it is. Alright, now you want to take your copper wire, or whatever kind of wire you have, and tie it in on the top. So the torque of the tying, your bobbin torque, will pull it over to the other side like this. Oh, well, it's stuck. Whatever. Okay. And then you take, I like to use brown mixed with silver dubbing, and I do it by just putting the brown down. Hold on. Get this to the back. There. There. And then taking the silver, I like to use synthetic silver, which is all you can really get, and just kind of let it stick on its own at first, and then spinning it on to the thread. That's weird. Okay. Now you just take this deal you got going on here, and you want to make thick wraps all the way to the front. And on this fly, I like to have it taper to the middle, if you know what that means. Okay, and then you take your copper wire and you do open spirals over the top. And then trap it. Cut it. Make yourself a nice little head. And then do your loop finish. If you have a little bit of a tag on the copper wire, it doesn't make that big of a deal. And Texas fish that I've experienced won't care. Alright. That's it for this one. Cut it off. Sweep that back. Just kind of like pull that off a bit, make it a little bit bigger. Alright, and that's it. That's the weighted swim nymph.